I'm a REFORMA member. I'm a senior librarian at Santa Ana Public Library. I do adult services and programming. So, who better than Sylvia Mendez to start our program on Latino community engagement? We are honored to have Ms. Mendez as our keynote speaker. Ms. Mendez is the daughter of Gonzalo and Felicitas Mendez, who jointly fought the landmark court case battle of Mendez et al. Versus Westminster.
Students and guests, our dream has finally come true. Mendez versus Westminster is being recognized for the historical impact it had on all of us. And our goal is to have it taught in all the schools, the integration of public schools in California. As the daughter of Felicitas and Gonzalo Mendez, I have a promise that I had to keep. My mother would say, nobody knows about this case, Sylvia. How 5 families fought here in Orange County for integration, and nobody knows. And it was that day that I decided to go around the country and talk about it. It's that day that I promised my mother to make sure that everybody knew about Mendez versus Westminster, and it has become the Mendez family legacy to go around speaking.
Well, the number one goal, being in the Santa Ana History Room, is the preservation of Santa Ana's heritage. So we focus in on the city because that's our responsibility as a public library, is we have a focus and dedication towards our city. But then what we also want to do is get an established youth historical identity going. So people that are really young sometimes don't feel that they're part of history. So what we try to do is kind of sneak them in. They're volunteering with us, and we try to give them an idea of the bigger picture of everything that they're participating in. How many times have you guys passed by murals and just thought, oh, I wonder what? Okay, I'm gonna not look at it anymore. But you look at something, you wonder about its history, why it's there, what it's supposed to convey, and all these stories kind of get shared and saved somewhere, but not really with each other. It's not easy to recover. So what we tried to do last summer was a Voices Behind the Gate program to actually figure out what these murals are supposed to be, who made them, what were their official titles. But it was hard to track down. We managed to identify, I think it was about 38 different murals in the city, which was more than I was expecting.
Why is Chicano Studies history important to Orange County? How does this project tie into this conference theme? And in particular, this topic is contributing to the history of ideas and intellectual history. One of the things, and this is a critique of all Chicano professionals and academics and the librarians, we're not doing a good job of preserving our own history. Because we've pushed so hard to bring others into our professions, to fight for social justice. We're doing a lot of work, but we really have to take the time to look back and write those histories down. You'll always see these panels in honor of senior scholars, senior librarians. We're not doing that enough. We really do need to have panels and journals and other types of conferences where we celebrate our senior scholars, not make them into saints, but acknowledge all the institutional work that they have done and mark it so we can point to it. Because I think we're going to be in a period for the next 10 years where that hole of opportunity is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller.
We see descendants of Mexican immigrants, particularly after World War II, move in a very linear fashion right into the middle class, and in some instances achieving their dreams by playing baseball. So the authors were interested not only in how ethnicity and class background affected social mobility, but how gender and sports participation impacted and changed traditional roles of Mexican American women. And I believe that one of our biggest contributions to the field of Mexican American history is that we've documented some Mexican American female softball players and teams that nobody even knew about before. So that's really exciting.
You got to see the feeling and the actual history of her migration story. I thought that was super cool how someone was so excited to share their immigration story. They wanted to let people know, one of the things that did stick in my brain was how she was raised in a tough life. Mexico was tough for her because she had such a huge family, and she was just one of the daughters, and how she like had to go through her own education and she became a dentist, and how she's so grateful for her life here in Santa Ana, how it completely changed what she had. She has like 3 amazing children that she loves, and she's so happy that they can go get an education. But I remember her emphasis of like how this is the American dream that she really wanted, and it's kind of, it makes you think about it, like how your own history, like I thought about my own history, about how like your parents, my parents, they go through the same struggle, but we don't ask them, and it's so sad that we don't ask and we don't try to keep going and continue our like parents' stories. I remember she shared like games that she used to play just running in the streets, like she said there was a simpler life back then.
Whether we want it or not, the new Common Core state standards, the new standards are coming out, and the new assessment, which is called Smarter Balance, is coming out in 2015. To be ready, you have to know technology, you have to know how to work a computer. You don't put it in the dishwasher, you don't put iPads in dishwashers, we know that. But we need to make sure we are ready, because that's what the testing is going to be. Not pencil and paper, it's going to be done on a computer.